Hello folks, welcome back to my channel. As you would have seen in the thumbnail, we are looking to explore what's the price and the growth across different micro markets of Hyderabad. Couple of caveats before we go deep. One, as you know, the data is not fairly transparent in the world of real estate, so this is based on bottoms up estimates from different agents, developers who've tracked these price points and aggregated it at a location level. So do expect deviations. In fact, I would say some of them are too optimistic, so do take a haircut on the actual numbers. And the second being, this is for your directional guidance only. Historical growth does not indicate future patterns. Right? So if a particular micro market has grown by X percentage in the past, it doesn't mean that will grow in the future as well. There are a lot of variables that control that. But at the same time, it's good to know what the data is saying and take decisions off the back of data, or at least take more informed decisions. So that's the sole purpose. What is the data telling us and how does it inform our decisions? So firstly, on x-axis we have growth, on y-axis we have price per square yard, and this is a typical pattern that you will find in any city, right? Where one, you have a growth corridor. Shadnagar is this, which seems to be an outlier. But here you have Mansanpally, Maheshwaram sort of really driving growth, doubling in the last 2 years. Again, like I said, do take a heavy haircut on these numbers. They don't seem entirely realistic, but directionally speaking, these are the micro markets that are in growth, right? If not for 2 years, in the last few years, these have been driving growth for the market. The second is stable core. Right? You'll have a lot of these markets, a lot of these micro markets with existing residential setup, social infra established, people living. This is your stable core, and any city will have this sort of a picture. Right, so you have areas like Kukatpally, Manikonda, Uppal here, Sainikpuri, across different parts of Hyderabad. You do see that there are a lot of residential locations in that maybe 40 to 1 lakh price per square yard range. So, and I was looking at the averages, and looks like around 64,000 is the average price per square yard in that stable core. Okay. So yeah, I mean, this is great if you want to construct your home. This is the area to gun for, given that everything is already established here. If you're looking for investment, then the growth corridor makes sense. Next is the luxury belt. So this is where the real premium price points sort of come into picture. As you can see, Jubilee Hills is close to 3 lakhs. I know some of them are even at 3.5. This is the average that we're looking at. Kokapet is around 1.8 or maybe around 1.7-ish. Banjara Hills over 2 lakhs. So this is truly an outlier again. As you see, the data is sort of speaking for itself with stable core, some growth, and then one very strong price per square yard in that maybe 0 to 20% growth range in the last 2 years. So yeah, as you can see, real estate inflation will be in the standard 6 to 7% range, and these markets will sort of largely stick to that. And last bit is correction. I personally think it's a healthy thing. If markets are slowly coming down on price, not too much, but correcting by some extent, so that it just is realistic and balances out the overall growth picture for the longer term. As we know, Shankarpally, Shamshabad, Sangareddy, these micro markets have seen very strong growth the last 6 to 7 year period. Right, we've seen multifold growth in these micro markets. So it's natural that there is some correction to be expected, and in the next wave it will again potentially go back to this stable core. Like the markets will slowly start converging towards a stable core. So yeah, that's the data driven approach to take. And as a result, what will happen in future is these growth will micro markets will slowly keep coming down to stable core, and new areas will start adding in, and then potentially there could be a few mature markets where people might be vacating from, or exiting those markets and moving into either bit more stable areas or growth areas, right? So all of these factors do play out. This is a very interesting view that I thought I should share with all of you. With that, let me just quickly summarize. High base, especially Jubilee Hills, would usually mean low growth, but also means high yield. What do I mean by that? If you plan to buy a plot of land, construct something there, and lease it out either for commercial or residential, you will get a lot more yield or percentage return compared to other locations. Right, so that's one. Momentum is great across the south corridors and southwest as well. I think I saw Chevella here. There's Kottur, which is also along the Bangalore highway. Medchil is in the north. So yeah, it's quite mixed, but generally speaking, southwest and south corridors sort of seem to be in growth. The third is it's important to distinguish when a growth corridor is becoming a stable core. After the livability, after social infra sort of gets established, growth will slowly start converging to that 0 to 20% range over a 2-year period, right? So just be informed of that and make sure that you're planning your investments or your end homes accordingly. And in the correction segment, be choiceful about the kind of project and make sure you're entering at the right price, right? Those would be the key learnings. All right, with that, I hope you found this useful. My goal, as always, has been to be very informed before going into decision making, and with something like as big as this, as serious as this, we should absolutely be understanding of the data and then understand the implications and take decision accordingly. If you've liked this, please do share, like, comment as usual. And if you have any questions, if I've overstated anything, please do keep me honest. I will stress again that the growth numbers do seem on the higher side, but you can apply a factor of 10-15% to bring those numbers down. But by and large, then the trend sort of speaks for itself. All right, thanks for watching. I hope you liked it, and see you in the next video. Thank you.